Welcome back, Gautami, online and offline, Manoj, Narsima, Somasekar, and Vinay. We are going to continue the list topic, and we are going to see what are the other steps we should be familiar with. And as soon as, in case if we manage to complete the topic, because some of the topics, all these topics requires somehow demonstration for you. Without demonstration, you will not be feeling comfortable with many of the topics. So I may require to start and demonstrate you the concept, because once if you understand the topics related to functions and methods that is supported by a list objects. Now we will see this one, and we'll find out what are the list objects and methods are there that are supported by list object. Am I audible to you, Gautami, online? Yes, sir. Yeah, fine, fine. Uh, Sure. Yes, I don't. Randomly, everyone is touching this one and they are modifying the settings. Yeah. Python provides many built-in functions and methods for list manipulation. When I say function, it is independent. When I say method, it is part of the object. So name of the list dot method name, that is method. Simply you are using the function to perform some operation on the list. You will say it is a function. List function can convert a tuple into a list, means list is a function, it is not a method. List is a function. Now the syntax of using function very much similar to the syntax I told you. String object dot string function. Here list object dot list object name dot function name. What are the list of functions supported by list object? There are index method, append, extend, insert, pop, remove, clear, count, reverse, sort. The word itself gives you some idea what it is going to do. What it is going to do. Now in detail we can see what actually it is doing. First we will take the method, index method. Say for example we have a list called as L1, and you are using that index method with L1 object, because index is a method. Index is a method, it should be part of a list object. So L1 dot index method. Independently if you say index, means it will not work. It will not work because index is part of which one. That is the confusion with Python. We will understand, as I said, in object oriented programming. Now list index means item first matched at index 1. What you are asking is, I have specified an item in the index function. What is its index number? What is its index number? Now if you give 20 is already available, so the value output will be how much? 1, because 20 element is placed at the index number 1. Okay. If we pass any element which is not in the list, then index function will return an error. We should be aware of this one. Some functions doesn't return any error. Some functions does return errors. But I told you slicing operation will never ever return errors. Yeah. Mostly functions are and methods are returning errors. If you are violating the rules and regulations, it will obviously generate error because there is no option for it to process the data. Now, say for example, the next method. Now, if I ask you what is the list index method, if the element is specific given to the index method, it tells you whether that element available. If it is available, if it is, it will return index. It will not tell you that something 0 index, minus 100 index, something not available. It will not indicate. If it is not available, immediately it will generate error. It will generate error. Append method, already I told you, append method is to add item at the end of the list. Append means you have to think about end. Adding, it is also adding element, but it is not adding somewhere in the in between. If it is adding somewhere in between, it is insertion. It is insertion. Append means something adding at the end of something, whether it is tuple or it is list or whatsoever may be. We are going to see the same behavior. For example, father, mother, bro, sis, a string list is available. You want to add Tommy. Now Tommy is added at the end of the list. Tommy has been added. So now we can understand that the item is added at the end. Now L1 is, are you able to see like this, my friends? Whenever it is going, immediately you can watch here. Is it visible? Right? Little bit I can increase for your benefit. Like this also I can make. Now it is clear now. You can come like this also. You can see if you want. Because I'll request the institute to fix the problem, the panel problem, and as soon as we take the next class here. Now you see, friends. Now you see what is happening. Family mother. Append function will add the item but not return any value. Please don't forget. Yesterday we saw a function. A pop function will remove a item. Also, it will return the item that has been removed. That is not happening with append. Nothing will be returned. Nothing will be returned. So none is returned. None is returned. In Python, if you say nothing is returned in English word, there is a specific technical return data type called as none. None means it returns nothing. Okay. Let us understand. Say for example, now 10, 20, 30. I'm adding 40. I'm adding 40 to which one? L1. If you try to store that result into L2, if you print that L2, L2 is printing nothing. Why? It's nothing. It's not. Will not store any item of L1. It will not store any item of L1. So we say that append, if it returns something after processing, if it returns something, that return value has come to L2. It is not returning. This is the experiment to say that it is not returning. Okay. Now extend method is there. What is this function extend? Function is also used for adding multiple items. With extend we can add only list to any list. Single value cannot be added using extend. What is the use? This function is also used for adding multiple items. How to add list to list? Now say subject 1, subject 2. You are saying extend subject 1 with subject 2 means you have to use extend function. Actually, see, the name is also giving some idea for us. What is it doing? The list of data is extended to some 10 item, 20 item, 30 item. So you can use extend. Now what you are doing, subject 1 is extended with subject 2. Subject 2 should have been extended with subject 1. No, it should not have happened. Why? Because this operation is performed on which object? Subject 1 object. This extension operation has been performed on subject 1 with the help of subject 2. That is the work of, if you understand that function, it is very simple. It's very simple. That is, whatever I'm saying, this is the final explanation for those things. Okay. Now, if you print subject 1, it will print physics, chemistry, CS. Originally, the values of subject 1. Also, it will print English, maths because it has been extended with the subject 2 value. Okay. Here, subject will add the contents of subject 2 affecting subject 2. Like append to, extend also doesn't return any value. It doesn't return any value. If you try to do like this, subject 3 will become empty. Everything is nothing. Yeah. Now what is the difference between append and extend? Append allows to add only one item to a list. Extend can add multiple items to a list. And provided you are giving it. Now for example, M1 append M5 means M1 is extended, so added. Append 6, 7. You can specify. It is not a list. It is not a list. Now the notation is in the previous slide I told you, either you can go with multiple items, more than one item is condition for extend. Append is only one item is condition to add at the end of the list. Now, what it is, append L 6 comma 7 means what is happening? Takes exactly one argument, two given. Append has been given how many values? Two values. It is not happening. Now what you are doing? M1 append 6 comma 7. You are giving list. 677 is two values, but single value for single variable for append. It's a single item, so it is going to be a sub list. This technique, if you want, you can use to add more than one item with append, but individually you cannot add the technique. And now, if you recall, how do you access 6? Say, for example, in this list, if you want to access 6, how do you access 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, 5 of 1. So it is going to be altogether a separate list. So this is permitted for you. If you ask length of M1, it will not tell you 6, 7 as two items. 6, 1, 7, 6 and 7 will be treated as a only one element. Why? It is separate container. It is separate container. You have to understand the Python behavior. Okay. Extend function you are using. M2 is 100 to 100. M2 extend 300. You are trying. That is opposite operation is happening. Append and extend is having opposite behavior. This is not accepting single value. That is not accepting multiple value. That is the difference. Append can accept only one item. Extend can accept more than one item. One item is not possible for extend. Now it will end up with error message. Okay. Now what happens? Difference between append and extend. Extend 300, 400, M2. What is happening?
One item. Counting one item.
No, already it was 100 and 200.
Okay.
See, M2 was what? 100 and 200. Now you specified a list. It is a single item. It is a single item. You are saying that 300, 400. It is not becoming a sublist. This is also another difference. It is not becoming a sublist. More than two item has been added. Because of that one, length is saying how many items? 4. But in our previous append, that is not happening. It is treating as a substring.
So what is the difference?
Now if you recall, extend subject 1, subject 2. Subject 2 was a list. You specified subject 2, name of the variable. You didn't specify the name of the variable here. You specified the list itself. Subject 2 was a list. Subject 2 you specified here. Instead of subject 2, what I have done is, I specified the list itself. That is the only difference. Now, difference number 1. Append can add only one item. It can add more than one item in case if it is given as a list. Again, it will be treated as a sublist and only one item for append. What about extend? Extend will not permit you to add a single value. It has to be added more than one value. What can we do? List can be added with another list. Either you specify the name of the list or you specify the list itself. If you add a list to a append item, it will make it as a sublist. But here it will merge the existing list. Extend will merge with the extended list. That is the difference. Okay. These functions exist. What is the problem requirement? How do you want to solve your problem? What is your requirement? You will go with either append or you will go with extend. That is the facility provided by the language. Okay. Now insert method. This function is used to add element to list like append and extend. However, both append and extend insert the element of the end of the list, but insert allows us to add elements anywhere in the list. Please note the word. Append and extend can add only at the end. I told you insertion operation. Insert function can do insertion operation. Anywhere you can. At the end, at the beginning, at the middle, anywhere you can insert. That is called as what? Insert. Position item. Insert position item. Because you cannot, append means automatically it is taken for granted. Taken for granted means obviously append and extend will think that I have to add item at the end of the existing list. I cannot add anywhere. But here insert is flexible. Anywhere means you have to tell which position, index number, and what is the item, element that you have to. So insert is like other, unlike other functions. How many values are required? Two values are required. One is index number, another one is what is the data that you want to insert. Say for example, this is the list. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, some list available. L1, when you print, this the values are there. Inside 3, 35 means what will be the result?
40 will be 30 into 30.
0, 1, 2, 3. Now after 30, 35 will be inserted because you have mentioned the index number as 3. Automatically the existing values will move to the next index number. Who will take care? Insert will take care of. It's not an easy job. If you write a manual program, you have to move item by item. Insertion operation is moving item by item, changing the index number. All these things will be automatically the complicated operation, as I said, methods are performing. Methods are performing. Now it has been inserted. Now it has been inserted. Now previously 40's index was the 35's index. Now that is not the index number now. How it changed? Insert function has modified the, in the memory it moved and it modified the index numbers. Okay. Now say for example you want to insert in the beginning. How can you use insert? 0. How can you insert at the last? Length function. What is the length? At the end. So I can say if you want the flexibility of append and extend, everything can be possible with the help of which function? Insert function. Okay. Now minus 10 to, is it possible? Yes or no? 0, 1, 2, 3, sorry, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 7. This 2 will be inserted where? Already I told you. Now what it means, insert function is not generating error if it is out of bound. If it is out of bound. Minus 10 is not available, it is going beyond the first element. So insert as the first element. This is also somewhat same, inserting as 0. Inserting as 0. Now pop method. And also I didn't show you using insert method. Can you insert one whole list? Is it possible or not? Yes or no? I show you 10, 20 something you inserted. Can you insert a list inside another list with the help of insert function? Yes or no? No, it's not possible. You want to give position number. That's why you cannot. Okay, because Gautami is online. Let me check what you, whether you are correct or not. Gautami, are you able to follow what we are discussing here? Yeah, fine, fine. I want to, the argument now is whether we can insert a list inside another list with the help of insert function or method. This is what we are discussing. Now I am inserting a new program and I deleted everything and a little bit I have to type the program. And now L1 equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is one list. Okay. I want L1 insert. I want 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. This is a list. After that I want print out of the L1. Insert expected 2 arguments. Insert expected 2 argument. Okay. Because I didn't give the first element, index number. I am giving L1 length. L1 length, comma. Oh, sorry, I am printing in type. In a print statement, I am modifying. I have to modify in list. Len of L1, comma. Happily, it is inserting. 6, 7 has been becoming sublist.
List.
You see, I told you append can add only one item. If you are giving a list, it is treated as a single item. For that, for this list, for L1, what is this one? One element. We know it is a sublist. For outer list, it is one element because the whole list is referred by a single index number. Whole list is referred by a the same concept I am applying for the insert. Why I questioned you? I told you append can add only one item, but if you are giving a list, it will become a sublist. It is possible. Same thing will happen with insert also. It will not happen with extend. Extend is merging. It is not creating any sublist. It is not creating any sublist. Okay. Uh, Now moving on. Let me close this one. Let me project the tab again. Now pop method, we have read about the function earlier, right? It is used to remove item from the list and it will return the item. Even you can optionally you can specify the index number also, which element you want to remove. If you don't specify the index number, which element will be removed? Last element, right? Okay. Now, if you specify the element index, that particular index will be the element at that particular index will be removed, and then also it returns the removed item. That's why val is printing 30 removed item. Okay. Now it L1 has become 10, 20, 40. 30 is gone. Okay. Now pop method raises an exception if the list is already empty. You have to be aware of this. You are trying to delete from a empty list. You are trying to delete from a empty list. If you are trying to do that, it will tell you this error: pop from empty list. Pop from empty list. It is not possible. It is not excusing you. It will generate error. Okay. Now remove method. Already I told you, if you want to remove a particular element, how can you delete? Already I told you in the list, if you want to remove a particular item, how can you remove that? Index. What is the notation? What is the syntax to remove an item from your list? What is the syntax? How do you write the statement?
Object dot function.
Object dot? No, I'm not talking about this. Already we studied about removing elements
Yes.
in the list. So what is the mechanism?
A dot square bracket is list.
A dot?
Square brackets.
Okay.
So which one index we know? A square inside of the square bracket he writes the index number.
Yeah, that is right. That is right. But what is the full? Who is performing that operation of removing and deleting? I told you it is not a function. It is a statement. Del statement we studied. Del statement. If you specify del A of 1 means first element will be deleted. If you specify del A means the whole list will be removed from the memory. I told you. Now, pop function is used to remove element whose position is given. But what if you know the value to be removed but you don't know its index or position in the list? Answer is remove. So it means that remove and pop is somewhat similar. Pop function and remove functions are similar. For pop function, index is specified. For remove function, value is specified, not the index. You know the value there. I don't know where, somewhere in the list it is available 120. You remove that. Which function you can go with? Remove. You know specifically that I know the index number 5. Whatever the value you remove is go with pop. Go with pop. Actually, both are doing the same one. Removing element. Removing element. Pop expects index value. Remove expects item value. You don't need to specify the index. It will search and it will find out. But the implication you have to understand. In the list, the same value can be repeated. Right? What will happen in that scene, in that scenario? Now we'll see. For example, remove 5 means if the list is what is position given, pop function is the answer is what it is. It remove the first occurrence of given item from the list and the return if error there is no such item in the list. It will not return any value. 3 points you have to understand. What is first occurrence? If multiple values of the same item you have specified 10 many times it is coming, it will keep on scanning from the index 0. First occurrence it will remove. Second, third it will not remove. Only once it will remove. Say for example another possibility, there is no such value in the list. It will result in an error. It will result in error. And third point, this remove method is not returning. Pop method is returning the removed element. It is not returning the index value. At least what remove can do, okay, we find out the number 10 in this particular index. It is why it is not removing, returning the index number. It is because the occurrence of the item can be more than once. If it returns a particular value, it means that only one time it occurred. It is not logical. It's not logical. So it is not returning. Is not returning the index number. Now, L1 remove 5 means item 5 will be removed. Already removed. Remove 3, the first occurrence of 3 is removed. The second occurrence is as it is available. Second occurrence is as it is available. Remove 10, how many times are available? There is no 10. So it happened in the error. List remove X not in the list. You are trying to remove a value that doesn't exist in the list. Yeah. Now, what is the simplest method to remove all the item? All the items from the list and the list becomes empty list. List is not deleted. They can delete the whole list that doesn't exist in the memory. You can clear all the values using append and remove. Further later you can add values. Still it exists as a empty list. You can use clear method. You can use clear method. Clear method is clearing the item is removing irrespective of any number of elements. All the elements will be removed. But what will happen with clear? It will become empty list. It will become empty list. Okay. Now you recall del list name statement clear will remove only the elements and not the list. After clear, the list object still exists as an empty list. But what about del? Completely deleted. Even the list doesn't exist. Even as a empty string also it is not available in the memory. That is del. You want to completely destroy the list, go with del. Just you want to clear the item, you want to add freshly some item with the help of append, extend, etc. Go with the clear method. Okay. What is count method? This function returns the count of the item that you are paused as an argument. If the given item is not in the list, it returns 0. Very simple. Say for example, you have given count 20. Count the number of times that 20 occurs in the list. That is the meaning. Occurrence of 20 has to be counted. How many times it is occurring? 2 times. So the result is 2. If it is not available, it will return 0 times it is available. That is a valid logic for returning 0 values. 11 is not available in the list. It says 0 time it occurs. 0 time it occurs. Now reverse method. This function reverses the items in the list. This is done in play. I play. It will not create a new list. The syntax to use reverse is like this. Just you don't need to specify anything. Just you say reverse. The whole list will be up and upside down. Yes. Now 100 will become first. 10 will become last. That is a reversing. Okay. Now L2 L3. L2 reverse. L3 means reverse function is not returning anything. Existing list values are modified in its places. It is not creating a new list to return. Existing list is modified upside down. And it is not creating a new list. That's why L3 will be empty list. It will be a empty list. So you have to remember reverse function is not returning anything. I can suggest you all In case if you are confused suddenly whether reverse function returns or not, obviously you are typing, right? When you type in spider, immediately it will show you pop-up explanation of the function. Then and there you can refer whether it is returning or not. You can read the explanation. If you mostly you will recall, if you practice more and more, you mostly you will recall. If you forgot how many arguments I have to specify in the bracket, whether it returns or not, whether it is a function or it is a method, you are confused means, obviously you can refer help menu. That's why every software is having help menu and manuals are there. Why? Obviously, human beings will forget. Today, hundreds and thousands of functions we are studying. Every time, everything has to be recalled. Every nuanced details I have to remember. That's not possible. That's why they are giving help menus in the IDEs. Spider IDE is supporting such type of facility. Now, another is sorting means ordering either in the ascending order or in the descending order. 10, 1, 7, 28, 9, 2, it is unordered list. It is an unordered list. Simply use sort, it will be in increasing order, that is ascending order. Now 1 has become first, the biggest value 20 has gone to next, increasing order. The same values has been arranged in the increasing order. That is the job of the function sort. Sorting means ordering. Usually list can be unordered. Use the sort function will order. Now sort function, if you sort A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, according to its ASCII value, it will be arranged. According to its ASCII value, it will be arranged. Reverse true. Reverse true means do it in descending order. If you don't specify anything, it means that it should be in ascending order. Reverse true means a descending order. What is the meaning?
Descending.
Yeah. Reverse false means you whether you specify or not, it means that one only. By default, what it means? Reverse is false. Make it true. Automatically, it will be like this. Descending order. Biggest value first, smallest value last. So what is the job of the sort function? An unordered list, if you want to order in the ascending or descending order, go with the function sort. By default, sort function is ordering the items in ascending order. If you want to make it as a descending order, you have to specify a argument called as reverse equal to true. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Now we have to move on to tuples. Let me take the tuples topic and all of you aware where I'm taking that slides? No, I every slide is having that address, right? Python for CSIP. That is the place where I'm taking it. It is online, freely available for download. What happened to internet? It is not loading. No, our Wi-Fi should be problem. Yeah, yeah, disconnected. That server is problem. Gautami, are you able to listen clearly? The voice is clear to you? Hello, Gautami.
Yes, sir.
My voice is clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, fine. Are you able to follow what are all the things that we have studied so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what I can do, I can go with, I have to load this one, but the website itself is not loading.
WhatsApp we have this last time.
Yeah, yeah, it is available. Yeah, I'll open from this. You are right. Yes, you are right. Tuples we have to deal now, right?
Yes, sir.
Tuples I have to open. I'll open the done, and now I'll project in the for the benefit of online. Yeah, now it is loading. You see?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyway, I will go with relatives. It didn't open. It is in tab, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is tuples is here, right? Let me project that. Now, know what is tuples? Tuple is immutable list. Tuple is nothing but immutable list. Whatever you know, everything you can apply for tuples. Wherever wherever the immutable mutable concepts is coming, you have to remember that is not applicable to tuples. That is the thing you have to understand. Only in 25 slides I'm going to show you it. We saw some 45 slides to explore the idea. Whatever I explore that you don't think that list is over. The fundamentals we are giving you the very clear idea about list and tuples and all Python concepts. How much you want to go deeper? Just go to the Python website, python.org. There you can refer the whole language manual. You will not be required now. If you want to become a good developer in Python, always you will be referring to the original manual there. You will not refer any secondary sources. You will go to the primary sources and what are the facilities available. What is my problem requirement? Can I solve this problem with the using of this one? You will explore that. Already you know sequence type, tuple. Tuples are immutable. Python will create a fresh tuple when we make changes to an element of tuple. If you Python will create a fresh tuple when we make changes to an element of tuple. It will not maintain the same tuple with the same address. Immediately a new tuple will be created. But that is not the case with list. If you individually you modify the value of an element in list, that particular memory location will be modified. The whole list will be intact. The whole list will be intact. Yeah. Now, see, creating and accessing, same thing. Is it difficult for you to understand? Empty square bracket, here empty parenthesis. Within parenthesis, if you are specifying the values 1, 2, 3, 2.5, or mixing or string whatsoever, the same thing. Right? Yeah. Now, if you go to creating tuples, what is the method? Simply put opening and closing parenthesis. If you are not comfortable, go with the function tuple function. Tuple function can create a empty tuple. Yeah. Clear now? So far you are clear. Creating tuples T20, 20, T5, comma you have to put. See, by default in Python, many things will by default tuples will happen, list will not happen. Because for Python, tuple is very fast execution because you cannot modify, right? So execution speed of the tuple is faster. If you know that you are not going to modify, for example, a list of mobile numbers are there. You can go with the tuples. Something you want to process with the mobile number. You don't need to modify this value, that value, and all. Something something if you are not able to, you don't need to modify the values. Go with tuples. You need to modify, insert, delete something means go with list. And why the t equal to 5? Why we are putting that comma there? If you put the comma, it will understand you are trying to create without bracket also automatically it will understand it is a tuple, but it will not understand as a list. By default, it will understand it as a tuple. If you don't put the comma, it will think that you are trying to create a integer variable. You are trying to create a integer variable. You can differentiate, right? Okay. Now, see, 100 comma, that is also same. Whether you put it the bracket or not, by default, automatically it will be treated as a tuple. Now, creating tuple root equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lengthy. Nested tuples, can you nest? Yes, it is possible. It is possible. How many elements are there in the nested tuple? No, elements of the tuple T1. Yeah. How many elements are there? 5 elements are there. Because subtuple has to be inserted, subtuple has to be treated as a single element. That subtuple is having 3 elements, that is different story. But outer tuple will treat it as a single element. It will treat it as a single element. That's why length of T1 means it is saying 5. If you ask T1 1 means it is saying 20. T1 3 1. Is this notation difficult to understand? Already the same notation for list also. So that's what I told you. Tuple is nothing but a immutable list. Tuple is nothing but a immutable list. List is immutable. Existing sequence you can use like a list also. It will create like this. If you give a string, the string elements will be separated, and this is the same syntax we have seen. T equal to tuple sequence. There we use list sequence, here tuple sequence. There is no difference. It will create the same thing. Now tuple items means T2 will become what? Items is a list. If you give tuple function a list, that list will be converted into what? Tuple. It will be converted into. Yeah, don't think that the square bracket has been modified to. We should not be that much innocent. It is not. We know that it is not modifying merely square brackets to parentheses. The whole mechanism internally in the computer memory is changed, where the data items are not mutable. Now, tuple you can convert, if you want tuple function you can use, and you can get the values, and if you are enter the element A B C D E means something, if you enter all the elements will be converted into A B C D E, you can get it like tuple. Evolve function also you can use. Evolve function also you can use. If you enter 10 Ravi 10.05 means automatically it will be treated as a tuple, because if you put, as soon as you put the bracket, the type of bracket, it will understand, the eval function will understand that you are trying to enter a input value of tuple. Okay. Now accessing tuple elements, similarity with string, just like string, because string is tuple is having similarity because both are immutable, both are both are sequence type, both are immutable. Every individual element of tuples are accessed from their index position, which is from 0 to length minus 1 in forward indexing, and from minus 1 to minus length in backward indexing. We know this formula. We know this formula. This is not only applicable to string, it is applicable to tuple, it is applicable to list, everything the same thing. For example, mango, apple. Yesterday also we saw the same example. A list of string values within square brackets. What will happen in the above list? Tuple will be maintaining the forward index and a backward index. Is there any difference? There is no difference in the indexing values. Okay. Now, accessing list element. How can you access? The same mechanism. How can you slice? Same mechanism. There is no difference. How can you find out the length? Same length function. How can you index and slicing? If you use a single element, indexing. If you use colon with 2 elements or 1 element, it is slicing. What about in and not in operator, membership operator? You can use with tuple. What about concatenation, replication, plus and asterisk you can use as similar to string. String we are using. Just you try to compare and contrast, and you try to understand. You don't need to repeat the idea. You don't need to repeat the idea. Difference between list. Tuples are similar to list in many ways, but yet there is one major difference in list. Our lists are mutable while tuples are. This is very much we are clear about. We are clear about. L1 10 20 30, T1 10 20 something. L1 you can modify 200 valid, but T1 150 means invalid because tuples are. This is the only thing, the difference you have to understand list. Individual elements, if you try the last statement, if you try to modify like this is invalid. If you try, you will get error message. You will get error message. Gautami, are you able to follow online? Gautami,
Okay.
you are able to compare the tuple concept with list because it is very much similar.
Okay.
Yeah, fine, fine. Now, traversing tuple. You know the meaning of the traversing. In any sequence, if every element is visited only once up to the end, such type of an operation is called as traversing. How do you traverse? Using for loop. We know in operator, not in operator, membership operator can be used. Now, I created a qualification tuple. Qualification tuple. After that, for q in qualification, print q means all the values will be printed. Or you can say like this also, for I in range, length of the qualification, after that, name of the variable, index value. Like this also you can access. This is one mechanism is very compact. This is so elaborate. Usually we use this method, not this method. Every programmer prefers this one because Python is popular for compact coding. So small code, lot of things will happen. I'm going to show you comprehension and some of the advanced topic. In one sentence, you can do lot of operations in Python. It is complicated to understand, but as soon as you recognize understanding, my 10-20 operations we are, instead of writing 10-20 line, single line we can write in Python. We can do that. Comprehension we are going to study as a single separate topic. Tuple operations. Joining tuple, is it difficult to understand? Plus symbol can be used to join two tuples. And what about 20? Can you add a 20 value? Error. Can you add like this? 20 will be added 20 bracket 20. Parenthesis is referring to not only tuple, also parenthesis can be used in arithmetic expression. So if you put bracket 20, it will not understand as a list. How can you make it as a list? Tuple. You have to put comma. Yes, yes, you are right, Manoj. Yes, you see, if you want just to put one comma there, oh, this is not arithmetic 50, it is a tuple 50. It is a tuple 50. That comma will make the difference. That comma will make the difference. Replicating tuple. How can you repeat the same thing? Already you know, using the asterisk symbol. The same thing will be repeated in the tuple. Same thing will be repeated in the tuple. Whatever I am going fast because all I have explained very clearly, you know. In during string I explained you, during list I explained you. The concept is nothing. Whatever you understood about list, just to recall that all are applicable. Tuple is nothing but a immutable list. Tuple is nothing but a immutable list. For convenience, you have to remember like this. Inside the memory, several internal details are there. You don't need that. So the type of machine level details. Okay. Now slicing, start end. You can specify like this. Start end end. You can do lot of slicing operation. And also start end, all values between index start and a minus 1. Different type of notations, you know all these notations. Yeah, step values you can. Slicing tuples, start and step value. Same slicing technique you can use for a string, you can use for a list and tuples. Comparing tuples, what will happen? Equality symbol will equal. As long as the elements are same, it will ignore. Whenever there is a difference, yeah, I will be done. Okay, okay. 5 minutes, it will be over. Almost it is done. Comparing tuples is not difficult. Unpacking tuples, something that I want to stop here. Tuple can be packed, unpacking. What is this? And also, we can make tuples indirectly mutable. Indirectly mutable. If you go through the slides, you can understand that. 6 slides are there. Creating tuple from a set of values is called packing, and it is reverse. That is, creating individual values from tuple element is called as unpacking. Now you see, example T1 100, 200, 300 for A, B, C, D equal to T1. Now T1 will be having A, B, C. It is called as unpacking. It is called as T1 is assigned to not a single variable. Assigned to how many variables? Four variables. Four values will go to four variables. Individually you are unpacking. This technique you can apply for not only for tuple, you can also apply for list. You can apply for list. But usually we don't unpack like this. We will use the index value. We will access individual elements. Or otherwise you can use pop if you want to remove. Note, tuple unpacking requires that the list of variables on the left side must be the same as the length of the tuple. This is a condition. Tuple is 5 elements and you are specifying 3 variables mean error, it will error. Deleting tuple, del. You know the statement. If you want to remove the whole, simply specify the del, name of the tuple. Tuple functions and methods. Len function. What is the maximum value? Among all, what is the maximum value? You can use. Max is a function, it is not a method. Directly you can use. Directly you can use. Min value you can use. Even you can use it for the list also. Max min can be used with a list also. Index, it will return the index of a given value. What about count? It will count number of occurrence of a particular value. Yeah, tuples. And tuple functions and methods. Tuple 1 comma 20 from a list, creating, you can create it from a string, create from a list, or create it from a dictionary also. Dictionary we are going to see. If you give anything to tuple, it will convert it into tuple. Indirectly modifying tuples. This is the thing you have to understand. Val equal to 10, 20, 30. Now val is given to ABCD. Val. Now B equal to 30. Automatically the B value, the second value is changed. Now tuple is changed. But you should not do this. Just be aware of this one. You should not do. Why? What is the use of using tuple? Go with list. Indirectly you can modify the value of tuple like this, because A, the value of the variable B refers to the same memory location which is val 1 is referring. Val 0, val 1, val 2. Both are having the same address. Obviously what will happen? If you modify B, that is also modified. This technique you can use to modify tuple value indirectly, but what is the use? There is no use. It is a open secret. Okay. Constructor using function list and tuple, that is list and tuples. Yeah, this one, these things you can also use for like this. So is there this is easiest, right? Now you are comfortable. We will go little bit. Set is also easy, but little bit you have to give focus to dictionaries. That one we will see tomorrow. And thanks for today's class. Thank you, Gautami, and all of my offline students. And we will meet tomorrow. Thank you.